Are you a business owner that could use just one more customer? Those empty tables, vacant appointments, idle employees, and expired merchandise are missed opportunities. What if there were a community that connects you to high-value and motivated customers, giving you a competitive edge in the marketplace and increasing your revenue? Introducing Partners One. You keep doing what you do best, taking care of your customers, and we'll do what we do best, sending you new customers to take care of. Call us today to find out how Partners One can work for your business.
Welcome to the Rocket Right Show, starring Hurricane Betsy Barnes and Dr. K. Solar. Two busy blondes with their fingers on the pulse of all things Louisiana. Events, health, leisure, entertainment, and more. It's the Rocket Right Show. And now, here's Betsy and Kay.
If you're looking for a good time, you found it. So we're really glad that you could join us. We're excited to share a few of our favorite people with you, people that you might not meet otherwise, but we want to make sure that you get to know them a little bit, and we hope that you do some business with them. So in our Partners One studio, in our business spotlight, we have Lea Richardson with A Cottage Path florist, who's also a Partners One member, and she has been a member of the professional florist community for a long time. We're going to see some of her work and share some of her tips for events coming up. And then we're going to meet Pete Ranzino. Pete Ranzino is the founder and owner of Learning Sciences Corporation. Pete actually is the highest ranking business, independently owned and operated business in Louisiana that made the Inc. 5000 list. He also ranks number 66 in software companies in the country. So in the whole United States, 535, that's pretty high rank. And number 66 for software company. We're going to talk a little bit about what he does in web-based workforce development training, how that can help you, help your workforce, and some of the things going forward. And we got a little music.
Music is medicine. And we know that everybody needs a big whopping dose of it. And we've got Chris LeBlanc on the show, who's going to be, making us feel all good.
And as we always say, we love some Chris LeBlanc.
Yes, absolutely.
We love some Chris LeBlanc, so we're so glad he could come back.
Yeah, and life is good when he's on the show.
That's right.
So then, have you ever wanted to meet your chef and said, man, who's that person back there fixing me that fine food?
That's right.
And so we are going to have the chef from City Pork, Brasserie and Bar, my favorite place, one of them in the world. The other might be some of the other city hospitality groups.
There's not a bad meal at any of them.
I love it, and he's going to be joining us and actually show us how he creates some of these special dishes right here on the show.
That. I'm hoping to learn a little tip or two. And the wine dinner that we went to at City Pork was phenomenal. That was wonderful.
Always. And my wine dinner was phenomenal.
Yes, you had such a successful.
With the 3rd Street Songwriters Festival, we had one bottle of wine left over. It was actually aged for 1 year waiting on this festival. But I'm going to tell you, City Pork Catering catered it. It was like out of a Garden and Gun magazine. I want to tell you, Point Marie, beautiful.
I cannot wait to see the photos.
Beautiful setting.
Go to our Facebook and go to 3rd Street Songwriters and look at that. So speaking of events.
Yeah, there needs to be flowers at
every
all events, right?
Yes. That's right. So Lea Richardson, you're the owner of A Cottage Path that is located on Highland Road, the historic Highland Road, not too far from Country Club of Louisiana.
That's correct.
And you have been a very gifted and talented florist for a very long time. I've actually received flowers from you.
Oh, good.
And they lasted a long time, and they were really beautiful.
Good.
And so tell us a little bit about your business and how you've made it through the pandemic.
Well, I started in business 23 years ago. And it's wonderful to do what you love for a living.
Yes.
The pandemic has hit everybody. There hasn't been anybody who hasn't been affected by the pandemic. But it's starting to come back now that the venues are allowed to have more guests. And when you do a lot of weddings, that's kind of important. You can't do a wedding with 25 guests. It's really hard. But everything is starting to come back, and a lot of the larger venues are starting to refresh themselves and get going for this wedding season. I think it's going to be really a wonderful improvement over what it has been.
People are ready to socialize, and they're ready to celebrate, and we've really been held back, which is not our nature.
Are you seeing a big boom in folks planning their weddings and ordering floral things because there has been a backlog of it, I guess, from people like putting things off for a year because they couldn't, and so now it's like since things are opening up a little bit, it's kind of like double what it would be this time yet. Are we seeing that yet?
No, and I think we'll see it in 22. From the bridal shows that I do, that's the indication that I get that things are cautiously improving in 2021, but everybody is really planning for 2022. So,
got it. A lot of people going to be getting married that year, you're saying.
Exactly.
Especially since they plan a year in advance. I mean, I would say they weren't thinking, and then now they're going a year from now.
Yeah, they're ready.
For sure.
But when you don't have weddings, you don't often have larger showers and parties, engagement announcement parties.
Right, all of that connects to the weddings.
Yes, and then fundraisers, corporate fundraisers, nonprofit fundraisers, so it's kind of really just pulled everything back. So I guess people are kind of getting their finances in order, rebuilding their networks.
They are. And like I said, all of the bigger venues are they're gearing up and they're ready. But one of the things I did find during the pandemic is my regular business increased.
Really?
Okay, and when you say
business.
your regular business, what type of businesses are those? That
Like people sending just flowers to people for no particular reason, or for birthdays or celebrations, or if they're in the hospital, things like that. All of that type of business really increased.
Well,
during the
and
pandemic.
I think that may have been a way of connecting. Do you feel like that? Because they weren't able to see that person, they weren't able to hug that person, but they could send them some flowers, and they knew they were thinking about them.
That was exactly
That's great.
That's wonderful. We actually have some pictures of some of your work, and you do beautiful work.
So can we show some of those photos? Okay. Do you want to talk about any of them as they're coming up? What we're seeing
That looks like
here?
a very large centerpiece arrangement, and it looks like there's multiple arrangements. So maybe for a wedding, that would be good for a wedding fundraiser.
Yeah, and that was actually for a fundraiser. It was for Sister Dulcie's fundraiser that she does every year.
Oh, yes.
And so we have a different theme with our tables every year, so that was one of those.
And that's beautiful. That looks like there's lots of different flowers within that arrangement.
Yeah, that was also a charity fundraiser that I did.
Beautiful. That's really beautiful. That's a little more close-up of the arrangement. It looks like just very vibrant. Maybe that one is a wedding, the white bouquets. Or it looks like hydrangeas in a vase.
They are, and what it was it was supposed to be a cloud with rainfall. So we formed this cloud out of hydrangeas, and then the tooling was the rainfall.
Oh, that's
on the
beautiful.
table.
That's beautiful. And I love roses of every color, and those look like they're kind of a peach.
They are. They're a pretty peachy colored rose. And a lot of the roses coming out of South America nowadays are beautiful garden type roses. They're those really big, plushy,
larger,
with the curls in the center type roses.
And vibrant pink. You have to love.
That definitely just screams spring.
That does.
Yeah,
That does, with the Gerber daisies and the roses. Right. And then what was this arrangement for? It looks like you have something up high and something lower. Was that for a display, for a show, maybe a bridal show? It looks like maybe kind of a bouquet.
It was. It was different bouquets, and they were situated on it's an Art Deco piece of a gate that I have. I keep a lot of antiques and things like that in my shop, so I use them for displays.
It's been a while since I've been in your shop, but you do have, it just feels like you're stepping into a variety of antique shop, accessories and gifts, as well as flowers.
Yeah, and I have a lot of fun with it, so.
Table centerpiece we're seeing here. And another.
That looks like kind of a long and low centerpiece.
Yeah, that was it was actually almost the length of 3 of those 6-foot tables put together.
Wow.
That was up at Homa's house, and it was just a big gardeny swirl of flowers, different types of flowers that went across the table.
And beautiful on that on the cake there.
On the wedding cake, that's beautiful.
We do we do a lot of wedding cakes. Most of the bakeries in Baton Rouge, they trust me to do the flowers on the cake. Some of them are kind of, they're picky about how they want their cakes, just as like I'm picky about how I want my flowers.
Right. They've got to go together very well.
Yes.
And one not mess up the other.
Right.
And then that looks just like a beautiful, and for the people on radio, you might not be able to see all the colors, but you will be able to see the pictures on our Facebook page. If you go to Rocket Right Entertainment, we'll share those and connect you with Lee. And then every florist has a florist cat.
Yeah, that's
house
Belinda.
cat.
She's our baby.
So that is such a precious picture.
And she approves of the
Oh yeah, she has
arrangements
to get,
before they go
right
out.
in the middle of what you're doing. She adopted us about 5 years ago, so we took her and had her fixed and got her shots and all that. So she hangs around the courtyard and comes inside when she wants. And
Well, she's got it made.
yep, we love her.
Yeah, so she's a pretty
awesome.
kitty. She really is. So some of the things that, in planning, like for 2022 or even 2021, what are some of the trends that you're seeing that brides may be leaning toward?
Well, I think, the trend the past couple years has been these enormous bouquets with all this greenery. It looked like they were carrying a centerpiece almost. And now things are kind of going back to normal. Not really knotty bouquets, but kind of loose and airy and, but not this huge thing that literally covered their whole dress. Those kind of scared me.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're coming back to, like a looser design bouquet. A lot of gardeny looking flowers, a lot of the gardeny looking roses, and accented with things like freesias and tulips and different things along those lines.
Like they may have just gone through the garden and picked a
Exactly.
bouquet. I still think
A
that's
little
just
less
simple
is
and
more
beautiful.
kind of style.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are some of the items that are just luxury items that people might be looking at? And we have really less than a minute. I shouldn't ask you such a long question at the end.
And basically, when you're planning a wedding and you're on a budget, the main thing you need to do is to find your most important things, like your bridal bouquet, the main centerpiece at the reception, things like that that are really going to make your impact. And that's where you spend your money.
Makes
and
sense.
then you can cut a little on the others and make it all fit into your budget.
That's good advice. Well, if you're planning a wedding or you're planning an event, you need to contact Lea Richardson with A Cottage Path. You can find her on Facebook. You can find her on the website. But you can also call Lea at 225-752-5880. And you are a Partners One member, and people need to know about Partners One. So thank you so much for coming in, and we appreciate you sharing this spring festive
Thank you
time
so
with
much.
us.
Great.
Thank you, Lea. We'll be right back with Pete Ranzino with Learning Sciences Corporation.
Hey y'all, I'm Amanda Shaw. We all know Louisiana is as fun as all get out. So get out, take a road trip, and explore everything Louisiana has to offer. Fill her up and try a new restaurant that's as fun-loving as it is food-loving. Grab the family and take off for monumental adventures at our 21 state parks. Or take a magical minivan tour along our 19 scenic trails and byways and rediscover the character and characters that make our state a lot like nowhere else. Louisiana is a trip. Take one today and enjoy a close by, far from ordinary adventure that's sure to feed your soul.
This is Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. Plan your road trip at LouisianaIsATrip.com.
You're invited to the first annual Flower Fest benefiting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Immerse yourself into this year's Louisiana Promenade theme as Point Marie Square is transformed into a floral haven, followed by a floral-inspired Louisiana Promenade Gala. Festival and gala tickets are on sale now at theflowerfest.com. Follow us on social media at theflowerfestLA.
Since the early 1800s, the Selassie family has played a significant role in the retail industry in Louisiana. Stuart Selassie has achieved the Certified Diamond Graduate designation from the prestigious Gemological Institute of America. What that means to you, whether it's appraisals, design, build, repair, or diamond sales, you have an expert you can count on. At Selassie's, you make all the right choices. Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Find them on Facebook.
Are you a business owner that could use just one more customer? Those empty tables, vacant appointments, idle employees, and expired merchandise are missed opportunities. What if there were a community that connects you to high-value and motivated customers, giving you a competitive edge in the marketplace and increasing your revenue? Introducing Partners One. You keep doing what you do best, taking care of your customers, and we'll do what we do best, sending you new customers to take care of. Call us today to find out how Partners One can work for your business.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Mcmorris of Elite Chiropractic in Livingston Parish, conveniently located off the I-12 corridor in Walker and Albany. If you suffer from sciatica, migraines, or other pain conditions, give us a call to see if we have a technique that best fits you. We have multiple techniques including chiropractic adjustments, massage therapy, dry needling, rehab, and much more. Again, I'm Dr. Ron McMorris with Elite Chiropractic in Livingston Parish, Walker, and Albany.
Where else can you take the trail less traveled at a pace all your own? Where else? Escape to one of Louisiana's 21 state parks for a picture-perfect getaway.
Where else can you be a world away and this close to home?
And welcome back to Rock It Right. I am Hurricane Betsy Barnes here with Dr. K. Solar, and we are celebrating Pete Ranzino, the founder of Learning Sciences Corporation, who made the Inc. 5000 list, number 535. So here's to you.
That's pretty high up on that 5,000. I'm going to say cheers. That's
right.
Awesome.
Highest ranking in all of Louisiana. There were many companies that made it, but Pete was number one. And so we're really glad that you could come in because it is kind of fascinating what you do. Wow. So I know what you do, but Kay doesn't know what you do.
So you need to fascinate me.
Fascinate
like
Kay.
I am totally unknowledgeable, although Betsy has filled me in.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll see if I can
fill
in the
But our
gaps.
listeners may not know. So
yeah,
we want you to explain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we have a company called Learning Sciences, as Betsy said, and we're a learning and development company. And what our job is to do is to go into companies, because we're primarily corporate, work in corporate learning. Our job is to go into companies once they establish their need, they have a learning need. And our job is to go in and help to take that information, run it through and turn it into a purposeful learning event. And then in doing so, what we do is we actually take that information, we push it into a web-based environment. So people are all, they're learning online is what they're doing.
Okay. So what are some of those examples of companies go, you know what, we need this, and then you take it and you put it into that web-based learning. What are some of the things that people are coming to you for, companies are coming to you for, especially at this time? Is it different since COVID?
Actually, there were some differences with COVID. COVID has had some impact, obviously, across the nation with all different type of corporations, right? Mm-hmm. Especially within our client base. Our client base is typically very large companies, and the reason that they come to us is, one, for our expertise in what we do in learning and development, but two, what we're able to do is we're able to distribute the same message, so everybody hears the same thing at the same time, but we're able to do that with a global reach. So we can train 20,000 people at a time.
Right.
And so that's the purpose.
And a lot of those companies may have been having, even though it's been web-based, but they probably need that more than ever because a lot of their people have not been coming into the workplace. They've been working from home or remote. So even more impactful and important to have something like that.
Exactly. Well, with COVID, the workforce that's out there has been scattered. It really it's imbalanced right now. So you've got all kind of different hybrid work approaches that are happening. That we're seeing, and then what we have to do is the learning still needs to take place. That organizational development still needs to continue. So we're having to come up with different approaches that help organizations meet that dispersed workforce now. Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that's really important to know is that Peter's company already has 100,000 people a week on web-based training programs.
That's crazy numbers.
That's crazy numbers. Out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, guy from Port Allen. Born and raised here, and he has a reach like you would not believe regarding the way that people are assessed in their skill level, the way that they are management ready or not, and then moving them up to the next level, which is what I find fascinating. That is really fascinating. So, okay, listen to some of these clients. This is impressive for a Louisiana company. Go ahead.
We primarily work in three primary areas. The first, that is our largest, is entertainment and news gathering. We work for Fox News Group, we work for NBC Universal, work for Disney and all of their affiliates.
Those are some big people.
Yeah, so ABC News, even down to Lucasfilms, and we even work for General Hospital, the soap opera. So they're a client as well. So it's all full media and a lot of news information gathering. Some of our proudest work, to be honest with you, is we work for the Olympic Committee and for NBC Sports. And so what we do is we build all of the courses and the orientations that the broadcasters have to go through before they're actually even allowed to go to the Olympics. Wow. And so we're working on the China Olympics now, and Japan, and just a whole bunch of other different type of, and other ones are coming. So that's kind of exciting stuff.
And then another area of expertise or another industry is the petrochem and energy sector, which you would think would not go with news and entertainment, but they have large numbers of employees at different levels of skill spread out all over the United States.
Exactly. So, you know, when you really look at our business, there's three main things that we're really are good at. First is regulatory compliance. So we help companies meet their regulatory compliance. That could be anything from environmental safety and health. It could be employment law. It could be internal requirements. But bottom line, at the end of the day, that employee needs to know X, Y, Z. And then we need to document that employee knows X, Y, Z. So we're very good at regulatory compliance, and that's what our systems are set up. So not only do you have the learning in the learning environment, but we also have management systems that we've built that track performance and progress. So we can tell you who's doing what, when they're doing it, how well they're doing. And in doing so, what we're also able to do is identify folks that may be having a little bit of a problem understanding. And so we're able to identify those folks, and they're able to pull them out and actually spend extra time with them. And then we're also able to identify different competency levels that actually help the employee grow their career further within the company, because you're being able to identify certain benefits that that particular employee may have. And so when you kind of look at it, regulatory compliance is one. We do a lot of onboarding, and onboarding is we're preparing the employee before he even gets to the job. You know, that's our job, is to accelerate what they're going to do when they get there, so that they hit the ground running. You know, when they get there, they understand the business model, they understand what their job is, they understand what they're supposed to be doing, and so when they get to day one, they're not lost. They totally are there. You know, and so that's another area that we're really good at. Another thing is procedures. They come out with new policies, new procedures, whether that's production related or just organizational related. You know, our job is to get that employee base all on board at the same time, and understanding what those new procedures are and how to act that. And that can be anything from workforce skill sets to just soft skills. You know, it's a wide variety. We're a custom shop, you know, so, you know, our job is to help people do what they do better. That's our job. And so we're purely custom. We don't have one particular thing that we do. We just have a particular, what we've been able to do is to design a system that where we can fairly quickly go from concept to deliverable in a very short period of time, and be able to document all the different things that need to be documented for that company.
And you've also done quite a bit of business with the state of Louisiana, with LSU, with different municipalities, and with law enforcement.
Yes, yes. One of our largest clients within Louisiana is law enforcement. So we do a lot of continuing education for law enforcement through the Commission of Law Enforcement. So we do that. We work with a variety of different agencies, from Children and Family Services to DHH to the District Attorneys Association. You know, it's all in about.
That's a lot of work.
It is.
I'm going to say, this is a lot of work all over the place. You must have 1 million people that work for you.
Not really. I mean, what I have is.
It sounds like it to get all that done.
I try and keep that down. You know,
I figure.
That's the largest check you write at the end of the month.
Yeah, for sure.
What I will tell you is that with all the things that Betsy talked about, and being 535 and all these different numbers that we've received and accolades, at the end of the day, it's really not about me. It's really about my folks. I've got a really good staff. and they do a really, really good job at what they do. They're fast at what they do. Everyone in our company has, from 5 to a decade plus years experience in doing what we do.
Yeah.
And so what we're able to do is move things fast. We're able to take on a lot of projects at one time. We're able to separate those projects out and deliver on promise, and that's really our goal, is to deliver on promise. So.
One of the things that I just found fascinating about your story, and his story is in the Inc. 5000 magazine and the list, and then there's a profile in the winter edition of Inc. 5000. But we only have about a minute and a half left, but I wanted to tell you that one of the things I thought was fascinating is that instead of you trying to go find investors to start your company like so many young entrepreneurs do now, you had 3 things. You had a card table, a folding chair, and a telephone. So you got on the phone and you found a client.
Yeah.
And that's how you started your first business.
A lot of young entrepreneurs, and I've been at this for a while. My first company I started was in the mid-90s, and in the same business sector. And I was one of those guys at one time, man. I was chasing money. I figured if I raised money, I could build a business. And then it dawned on me that I really didn't raise money. What I really needed to have was a client. If I had a client, that was my money, but it was also my proof of concept. And so that's where things changed. And so I started what I call smiling and dialing. And I landed, a really large insurance broker was my very, very first client, who turned out to be the same company that bought my intellectual property that I had built. And so that springboarded me to the next level. But, for anybody that's listening that might be entrepreneur late, it's really more about go find a client. Stop chasing money. Go get a client.
Good advice.
Great advice, yeah, for sure.
Good advice from Pete Ranzino, the founder and owner of Learning Sciences Corporation. If you want to see more about Pete, we'll share the links on our Facebook for Rocket Right Entertainment. And we're going to be right back with one of our musical favorites, and that would be Mr. Chris LeBlanc, talking about some of the good times coming up with some music and entertainment all around Louisiana. Hang with us, we'll be right back.
My biggest concern was my family and being able to see me come home every day and know everything is going to be okay. I felt comfortable that I was being treated by some of the best. There were some scary points along the way, but it's just kind of like been a little blip in the road.
Money, wellness, fun. Rocket Right Radio takes you all across Louisiana and the nation with guests who live life to the fullest.
I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
I'm Dr. Kay Solar.
You're gonna love it.
Join us every week when we cover
everything under the sun.
Live and learn with the Wright sisters.
Politics,
health,
music and entertainment.
local agnet.
Rocket Right Radio. You're gonna love it.
Whitetail Properties is not your average real estate company. Land specialist and MSU alum Jeff Taylor in Mississippi and LSU fan realtor Cade Taylor have teamed up. Their sole purpose is uniting buyers and sellers of recreational land. If you're interested in hunting, ranch, investment, and timber properties, Whitetail Properties experts have the right real estate for you. Call Jeff Taylor, 601-248-9433, or Cade Taylor, 225-719-0495, or visit whitetailproperties.com.
Join us for the 3rd Street Songwriters Festival Saturday, March 20th, outdoors at Point Marie, located near the LeBlanc Casino in Baton Rouge. Live music, an arts market, and food trucks starting at noon. Hit Writers Showcase at 7 p.m. featuring Louisiana's CJ Solar, Rick Huckabee, and Blake Griffith, who have written songs by Morgan Wallen, Jason Aldean, Tim McGraw, and others. For more info and tickets to the featured events, 3rdstreetsongwritersfestival.com. Fun for the whole family.
You're invited to the first annual Flower Fest benefiting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Immerse yourself into this year's Louisiana Promenade theme as Point Marie Square is transformed into a floral haven, followed by a floral-inspired Louisiana Promenade Gala. Festival and gala tickets are on sale now at theflowerfest.com. Follow us on social media at theflowerfestla.
Since the early 1800s, the Selassie family has played a significant role in the retail industry in Louisiana. Stuart Selassie has achieved the Certified Diamond Graduate designation from the prestigious Gemological Institute of America. What that means to you, whether it's appraisals, design, build, repair, or diamond sales, you have an expert you can count on. At Selassie's, you make all the right choices. Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Find them on Facebook.
Hey y'all, I'm Amanda Shaw. We all know Louisiana is as fun as all get out. So get out, take a road trip, and explore everything Louisiana has to offer. Fill her up and try a new restaurant that's as fun-loving as it is food-loving. Grab family and take off for monumental adventures at our 21 state parks. Or take a magical minivan tour along our 19 scenic trails and byways and rediscover the character and characters that make our state a lot like nowhere else. Louisiana is a trip. Take one today and enjoy a close-by, far from ordinary adventure that's sure to feed your soul.
This is Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. Plan your road trip at LouisianaIsATrip.com.
We're still dancing.
Of course we are. And, you know, this is usually our medical segment, which is brought to you each week by Mary Bird Perkins, Our Lady of the Lake Cancer Center. And tonight we know that music is medicine, and we have said this more than one time on the show, and people need a big whopping dose of it. And so we are so thankful that Chris LeBlanc is joining us tonight.
That's right. We love Chris LeBlanc.
And you know, if people were paying attention to our Facebook page, which is Rocket Right Entertainment, then I was going to give somebody a shout out if they could guess my clue as to who was going to be on the show this weekend.
Life is good.
Life is good. It is Chris's saying. And I think life is fixing to be better.
Yes, we've lifted.
We're talking about
lifted. That's what's up.
It's gonna like start moving on up.
We're going to big recess.
I know, right? A little recess, a little reset.
Yeah, and so yeah.
Well, I'm just very thankful that y'all reached out to me to come back. I feel like I'm I'm getting to be almost a regular guest with you guys.
We like
I'm almost
that.
like a Don Rickles on the Tonight Show.
I like
you
that.
You know what I mean? I'm getting close. I'm almost there.
Yes.
I mean, I'm happy about it.
I'm gonna go. Let's talk. Let's talk, Chris. Let's talk because this is a talk show.
It is a talk.
It is a talk show with some music thrown in.
I know, but I love a talk show.
I know, and so let's talk a little bit about what you've been doing and where you've been playing some music. What's coming up for people to see and. Hey, is it really open, and what has Phase 3 done for musicians? We still got a way to go, right?
I think we have a little way to go. I believe so. I think right now there's a lot of places that are kind of opening up and more musicians getting out to go play, being able to go. You can see, I was really encouraged the other day when I look at at a listing online that's like what's happening around town, Baton Rouge and the surrounding area, and there's like 15, 20
actually
people
shows,
playing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like 3 times.
RedStickMusic.com. That's what I'm looking
at.
It's
like
they're great.
3 times what it was like last
before
month.
it was like just like virtual, and now it's like
it's more than before COVID.
But a lot of times folks don't think, they're going, hey, live music is back, but they don't realize that there was a lot of that little fine print that some of your favorite restaurants and bars, it's still really hard for them because if I got to be like 20 feet from you playing as a whole band, some of the little restaurant bars are kind of small, and you'd be out the door and on the sidewalk. Well, you know, and people aren't thinking about all of that stuff.
True.
So we got a little ways to go.
Oh, we absolutely. And I will say that we've really been blessed, and through all of this, that we were able to go and do shows where we were playing on somebody's courtyard. Or somebody's, a public, any of these places that were like, hey, after the first 120 days of lockdown, Then when people started kind of filtering and started doing things, we were doing things like that. Playing on the courtyard, playing on the patio out here for somebody going doing things.
Well, and a lot of people,
the front of
a lot of
somebody's
restaurants put tents out and made a patio, even
Totally.
if they didn't have it, because
And-
they
and
couldn't
pe-
have indoor music.
Exactly. People have improvised in a way and made their business survive. You
Right.
either like change and make it survive, or you see who goes on
But
the
don't
wayside.
you think the virtual reach for the virtual concerts actually reached a lot of people more nationally and internationally
Oh,
that you
yeah.
might not have met if you were just at a show, if you were just at a
Oh,
live show
absolutely.
playing? And you've gotten a huge growth in your fan
It was
base.
unbelievable,
Yes.
Betsy. It was like, so in moments where I would go do a live stream, I would see people all over from everywhere on my stream, and it brought all these people together. And the truth of it is like, there's no way that I would have ever been able to go play a tour in a summer where, like, on one live stream I have Canada, a lot of Europe, all over America, 40 states in America. I mean, there's no way you can go see all this. So you're bringing it to them. And like, really my mission now is to like, I'm glad to be out and go and play music, but I really kind of want to do some more live streams, only because I want to go back in these moments and get to people that were there for me when I really needed them. Not just for for everything inside. When you're playing music and, you know, playing music is medicine. And I believe that it is like, you know, you see people, how it affects people and how people are affected by what I was doing. And I just don't want to leave them out. I want to keep them close by me, you know.
Don't you feel like, I think people really, they want to still have the live stream, but they want to move on from that and see you live for sure.
Absolutely.
But I feel like a lot of the shows that are gonna be live may still have a live stream component to be able to bring those people
That's what we're doing. That's what we're gonna do too.
And you know, that's a beautiful thing, and we wouldn't have been thinking about that.
I know.
You know,
It's a good thing from
we
COVID.
didn't have the technology or the things or the outlet to do it, and now we've done it. You know, we've gone out to go play our live shows, and the band's playing. We promote them out. We put the cameras up. And we're doing a live gig for people, and there's, you know, a few hundred people watching us play, and they're everywhere, and we're giving it to them, and they love it, and it's, I'll tell you, it makes revenue on the gig and online. Mm-hmm. People are like, we love you. Here's the money.
Yep, gotta love that Venmo
It's
money.
awesome. I mean, you're kidding?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, thank you, God.
That Venmo love.
I kind of
that
needed
PayPal
that,
love.
you know?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so
You know?
that's the beauty.
And there are
you know?
still some people, and as things progress, may not feel comfortable coming out. So those who do, they're gonna hopefully have more live options coming up, and those that don't, then I feel like the virtual component's gonna, like, you know, hang on
It'll
there at
stay
those
there.
live shows.
I
And
think
it's just gonna add to it.
I believe
and
that,
increase
like,
that audience.
I believe that it's a little bit more work for us now, because like when we go out and do shows and we have to, there's a lot.
Yeah, you got to set up all those cameras.
There's a
You got to
lot.
make sure your internet's working. There's a lot of stuff you got to do that people don't know.
People don't understand. I mean, like,
it's more than just turning on your phone.
You know, my home recording studio has kind of almost become a multimedia room now, where there's this and that, and there's cameras, and da boom, da boom, and your audio sounds right, and you're trying to get it. You want to do the best you can, but going out and doing a live show, we set up everything, we get it all sounding right, and then we're like, okay, we want to stream this, you know, and so to be able to stream it is, I believe the people who make the extra effort to stream will reap a benefit. I'm already reaping a benefit.
I think so, because then people will be looking forward to them coming to their town. But there's a lot more than you think. Like, somebody's got to be watching, make sure that stays online.
Right.
You got to have somebody checking on that.
Right.
If there's comments, you want somebody to like check on that so that they still feel like they're a part of it. So it's added stuff, but it's something that we wouldn't have been thinking about.
I know.
You know,
I'm
in the
glad
past.
everybody's thinking about like getting to people. Getting to people is everything.
How about streaming some music for us right now?
So you got your guitar down there, and we don't want to run out of time, because we know we got 3-minute songs, and
we got I don't have to play this whole song.
You can play a part of a song.
Hear you play.
I know,
Play
we'll
us a
play some.
feel good something.
I know. Y'all want to hear songs. I love you. It makes my heart smile that y'all love the way I sing.
We do.
Oh my God.
We do.
But It's all good, man. I'm so thankful to be able to do this. I can sing a little bit of Bayou. I haven't even thought about this. This is how I like fly.
And we love impromptu.
I'm saying cheers. Hello. It's a talk show. Hey, at least we're not smoking cigarettes on camera, right? It's not like that
no,
anymore.
because we're being healthy and we're drinking mostly red wine and occasionally a little white. But
and what about, tell me, what's up?
3rd Street Songwriters Festival. This is one bottle that was left over from our fabulous Cassandra dinner. I had 1-year-old aged wine that was with the main course. We had the other paired with some Sugarfield Distillery spirits.
The others were drank.
And they were amazing. Bloody Marys with that bacon from City Port Brasserie and Bar, and our girls with City Port Catering, Katie and Jessica, were there and just made it fantastic. It literally looked like it was in a Garden and Gun magazine. I know I said that before, but it was beautiful, and Point Marie was a fabulous spot. And you gonna be playing there, because I'm gonna tell you, it is gonna be the new hot spot outdoors for live music, 100% on Friday nights, and you're coming up in April, I think?
I'm doing Friday, April 30th.
Man.
And we're doing a show together. It's going to be my band and Jonathan Boogie Long.
Oh, it's going to be so amazing.
We gotta have him come back.
We have to have him come.
Gotta have him come back.
He's so killer. He's been out doing a bunch of. He said he's going to be doing a bunch of shows coming up with Samantha Fish, which will be nice. So he's going out with Samantha and doing some, and then he's going to California and do some of that. And
they're really allowing music out there now? I'm sorry, I'm so bad. But I like it.
I asked him too. I'm like, dude, you guys are playing in California.
So you can't leave your house
California
in California,
has
but
music.
Yeah, can't leave your house.
But Point Marie is one of those spots, man. That's just like a great. I played out there a while back.
Yeah.
And it is a beautiful
You know what
setting.
I like about it? It's a beautiful setting. You can bring your family. You can bring your kids. You can bring your dogs. You bring your little chair. You sit down. You chill out.
Yeah, come out there.
They got some food trucks. I mean, it's a fantastic,
awesome
Friday night. And so CJ played it last Friday night. It was cold. We're not going to have any more of that. It was the it was the night before the first day of spring. So now we're into spring. It's all going to be warm and beautiful. You won't need a heater anymore.
Well, we're running out of time
but they've only got 2 out of 8 down. You know what? I'm saying Chris is just going to play us out of this segment. Y'all just listen and chill out. And when we come back, we're going to be talking food with the chef from City Port Brasserie and Bar. He's going to make us something delectable.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so y'all stay tuned for that. Chris, play us on out.
I was born in Louisiana on Bayou Man Shack. Papa was a trapper from Napoleonville. Mama was a dark-eyed Cajun lady. It hadn't been for her, I'd be there still. This Bayou country.
I like it. I like it.
Well, I took my schooling out in Morgan City. I used to go to dances in Abbeville. I fell in love with a lady in New Orleans. It hadn't been for her, I'd be there still. Oh, my Bayou country, smell the magnolia, bring you to your knees. Fay-do-dos, there's Cajun women, a Spanish moss hanging in a big oak tree. Oh, my Bayou country, smell the magnolia, bring you to your knees.
Woo, that's so good. Thank you.
We want you to come back so you can share some more of that magnolia.
Yeah.
Sweet
for
magnolia.
sure. We all stay put for some fancy, fine food. We're going to be showing you next. Chef.
All right.
Thank you for coming. We love you.
Love y'all. Oh, sweet. So cool.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Mcmorris of Elite Chiropractic in Livingston Parish, conveniently located off the I-12 corridor in Walker and Albany. If you suffer from sciatica, migraines, or other pain conditions, give us a call to see if we have a technique that best fits you. We have multiple techniques, including chiropractic adjustments, massage therapy, dry needling, rehab, and much more. Again, I'm Dr. Ron McMorris with Elite Chiropractic in Livingston Parish, Walker, and Albany.
Some call it joie de vivre, the joy of life. In Louisiana, it's our way of life. From music that shakes up your senses to food that wakes up your palate. That joy vibrates in every note we play and spices up every meal we serve. So come live life to the fullest. Come one, come y'all, come feed your soul in Louisiana. I'm Sean Ardway, inviting you to plan your trip at louisianatravel.com.
Whitetail Properties is not your average real estate company. Land specialist and MSU alum Jeff Taylor in Mississippi and LSU fan realtor Cade Taylor have teamed up. Their sole purpose is uniting buyers and sellers of recreational land. If you're interested in hunting, ranch, investment, and timber properties, Whitetail Properties experts have the right real estate for you. Call Jeff Taylor, 601-248-9433, or Cade Taylor, 225-719-0495, or visit whitetailproperties.com.
Slimshot is the most in-demand injection in medical weight loss, and we are pleased to offer it at Causey Med Aesthetic. This safe and effective injection helps boost your metabolism, supports increased energy, burns body fat, and reduces appetite. These shots can be taken safely once a week or as needed when your weight loss is at a standstill. Slimshot combined with touchless lipo treatments produce a powerful 1-2 punch for targeting that stubborn body fat.
Join us for the 3rd Street Songwriters Festival Saturday, March 20th, outdoors at Point Marie, located near the LeBlanc Casino in Baton Rouge. Live music, an arts market, and food trucks starting at noon. Hit Writers Showcase at 7 p.m. featuring Louisiana's CJ Solar, Rick Huckabee, and Blake Griffith, who have written songs by Morgan Wallen, Jason Aldean, Tim McGraw, and others. For more info and tickets to the featured events, 3rdstreetsongwritersfestival.com. Fun for the whole family.
Where else can you take the trail less traveled at a pace all your own? Where else? Escape to one of Louisiana's 21 state parks for a picture-perfect getaway.
Where else can you be a world away and this close to home?
I had a meeting with Dr. Barfield, and it kind of just hit me. It probably is cancer. After the surgery, I wasn't scared anymore. I was looking forward to getting started with chemo. Not one time did I get a nurse in a bad mood. I was here for 5 hours at a time, and I did not dread coming. To get people from around the country to come to Baton Rouge, that says a lot right there. This place is cutting edge.
Back with Rocket Right.
Yeah, it's Hurricane Betsy Barnes over there, Dr. K. Solo over here, and in the middle we have got Rory Wingett, who is the chef at City Pork Brasserie and Bar.
One of our very favorites.
Thank you so much. I love that place.
You're welcome.
I used to live right behind it.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that we're good, and we're so excited that you're going to prepare something for us.
Yeah, so this is a new menu our new item we put on the menu for spring. It's a Gulf Shrimp Ceviche. Originates in South and Central America. It's a really cool kind of different-ish kind of thing. Like you'll see it in some of the Mexican restaurants around Baton Rouge, but this has very much of a Louisiana spin to it. I use Louisiana Gulf Shrimp.
The very best kind.
Mm-hmm. So I think let's show a picture of what it looks like at the end. But you're gonna put it together for us.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a little plating.
You're gonna show me how to make it at home.
Yeah,
no, I'm never gonna make it at home. I'm just gonna come in and have you make it for me. I mean, that's the kind of girl I am.
She's the kind of girl that makes reservations.
Well, if you have a little bit of patience, it's actually very, very easy.
I don't. I just want to come and have you do it for me. That's me.
Yeah.
All right. So it looks beautiful.
It does. Very healthy.
It looks like spring.
Yeah, so that was the idea, is we wanted to have something very colorful, very spring themed. You know, I like to keep my menus very seasonal. So this is actually something I did for a South American themed wine dinner we did over at the Brasserie that went over really well. I liked it a lot.
I was there.
You were there? Okay.
I was thinking, I just missed
I've had that. I don't remember all the pretty little flowers on it.
I decorated it up a little
You
bit more.
springed it up right there.
Slightly.
I love it.
But what ceviche is, it's traditionally fish, but it's soaked in like lemon or lime juice or marinated, I guess would be a better term, and makes the proteins in it kind of, the words coagulate, basically make it act like a cooked item. It's actually not cooked at all, but the acidity from the lime juice that it marinates in kills all bacteria, and it gives it that very cooked texture. And because it has that lime flavor, it's very like light and refreshing, and it's great. It sells really well for brunch and lunch for those looking for something kind of light.
Yeah, for sure. Well, show me how we make that right here. And let's talk about a few other things, because, I mean, is that available now on your Lenten dishes?
It's not specifically on the Lenten menu, but it is available for all shifts, or all business hours. It's part of our regular menu. Now, our Lent menu, I put together trying to, we're known very much for meat, and obviously I wanted to do something seafood, obviously, but with a very city port twist. So I did a little bit of a mix of somewhat exotic and very comfortable. Like I have, crawfish etouffee and cornbread. I did, we have a whole roasted fish that we do that was on our menu for a while.
Yes, that looks so nice, yes.
That was one of the most fun things we've done in recent memory over there. But one of the cooler things that I have is a barbecue octopus. That I don't know if you've actually
had that. I have not had it. I saw it on the menu, but I was not adventurous that night. I went with one of my normal favorites, but should I go there?
Yeah, so it's... I don't know if you've ever had like calamari before, maybe.
I love calamari.
So
yes.
the texture really isn't far from that, and I incorporated some familiar flavors with it, being like we have our glaze of our own barbecue sauce on it, and the octopus itself is cooked in a crab boil. So there's a lot of familiar flavors in there that I was trying to.
So you feel like you're eating crawfish pork?
Yeah, it's not quite. It's a lot. I like to describe it as like a very like meaty kind of shrimp, like a little bit meatier texture.
I'm gonna have to go there and have that. 100%.
So, are these plantains that I see, the yellow strips?
Yes, they are.
Rather than bananas, those look really beautiful on there.
Yeah, that adds. It's a nice garnish and adds like a crunchy and slightly salty element to it as well. And it's very good for kind of scooping everything up a little bit on, and it gives you some seasoning. Like I said, some crunch, a little bit more interest in the whole thing.
If you're a dipper.
If you're a dipper. I am a dipper. I'm a double dipper, actually.
You're a double dipper.
They're delicious on their own, too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So what do you put down first? What's your basis?
Okay, so this, if, you guys say you're fans of the Brasserie, the wild boar flautas that we have.
Oh, I love those.
So this is...
We eat there a lot. We really do.
I can't go there without having those.
That's been a staple for a long time. But this is that same sauce, actually, that smoked avocado cream. It's kind of our base, and it adds some fattiness and richness to this.
Healthy fats.
Healthy
you said
fat.
fattiness.
Well, it's avocado.
It's a healthy fat. You can have it all you want. You won't get fat. I'm just saying.
It balances out the acidity and kind of lightness and freshness to it, to the whole dish. So that's kind of our base. So I just take a bottle like this and just draw a circle on there. And then we have a homemade pico de gallo that I used.
Very colorful, beautiful.
Yeah, I used some
delicious.
local heirloom tomatoes, as well as a little bit of corn to add some sweetness to it as well, and for color.
That would be great as a dip also.
Yeah, it's very good as an accompaniment.
You can dip that with your plantain bits.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
As
or
an accompaniment
chips,
for almost
or
anything.
fork, or,
So that pico de gallo is our next step, kind of as a base for the shrimp.
Then my favorite part.
Now here's our Gulf shrimp right here that's been marinated in
and they look like they're cooked.
Yeah,
like you said,
they look very, very fresh. But these have marinated in lime juice and just a little salt and pepper for about 3 days. We put about 6 to 7 on the plate, depending on how big they are. I'll go ahead and go a little bit extra.
I just feel sorry for everyone who can't smell how delicious this is.
So yeah, you get a really big whiff of the freshness and the lime on there.
Very aromatic, and it's wonderful.
That's the main part of it. Then we'll give a couple of these plantain chips.
Beautiful plantains. Can y'all see this? Can you see it? Yeah.
And then you've got the beautiful floral accents. Are those edible flowers?
Yes, they are. They are marigolds. I like to use a lot. They add, and you'll see a lot of the stuff I have on our menu, and a lot of the stuff that we do there. I like to make very colorful and vibrant. It makes, it just makes everything very eye appealing, and it kind of, accentuates how nice and fresh everything is.
It's beautiful. I love eating beautiful food, and that's one of the things I love the presentation. I mean, granted, the presentation wouldn't be all about it if it didn't taste so good too. But you know, a combination of both of those, it's fantastic. I think that looks like Betsy's hair around there. It's like so awesome. And she's getting ready to go to the Flower Fest with all those beautiful little flowers.
That's right. We will be going to the Flower Fest.
Yeah.
We will, April 3rd and 4th. We are one of the sponsors. We're raising money for St. Jude for a beautiful, wonderful event. And this is just so beautiful with the pink and purple and gold.
I love it.
LSU spring theme.
Oh,
all
yeah,
our
yeah.
favorites.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, you
for
can get these flowers in many different colors, and they're very. They add. It's almost like finishing something with parsley. It just adds like a very light freshness to the end of the bite.
You know, parsley's so undone compared to that. That's beautiful. You put that on a plate, it's just beautiful.
So we've got so much to talk about because you've got new cocktails too that we'll go with this or any of the other dishes for spring.
Along with our main food menu, we stay up to date and stay seasonal with our cocktail and wine list too. We've updated some wines. I know one of the featured ones we have is called a Super Tuscan.
Please do not take off the Southern Hemisphere from the menu. Please do not take off the Southern Hemisphere, my personal favorite.
I think that's most people's personal favorite.
You know, we've got less than a minute left because, I mean, this was fantastic, but if folks have not had the breakfast on weekdays, which is what, 6 to 10? What is the time?
It opens
for that?
at 7 and we'll go to 10.
Good, because I would never be there for 6. Yeah. But it is fantastic. And then weekend.
Brunch.
Oh, my goodness.
They open at 11.
Yeah,
I know, because we're always the first ones.
Yeah, I know you wanted to get into the 225 nominations.
I know.
Barbecue obviously is one of ours, and brunch is another big one for us. We take a lot of pride in what we do for that, and that's a lot of this is we do our very fresh, colorful.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of our brunch, breakfast is a little bit of an extension
For sure.
of that.
Numerous nominations, and I know why. If you're going to rock it right.
That's right. Make sure you rock it right at
with
City
Pork.
Woo! That's right. We are so glad that you came.
Are you a business owner that could use just one more customer? Those empty tables, vacant appointments, idle employees, and expired merchandise are missed opportunities. What if there were a community that connects you to high-value and motivated customers, giving you a competitive edge in the marketplace and increasing your revenue? Introducing Partners One. You keep doing what you do best, taking care of your customers, and we'll do what we do best, sending you new customers to take care of. Call us today to find out how Partners One can work for your business.
Rock It Right with Betsy Barnes and Dr. K. Solar is brought to you by these generous sponsors. Partners One, better barter for Baton Rouge and beyond.
Mary Bird Perkins, Our Lady of the Lake Cancer Center, Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts, Advantage Health Solutions with Dr. Boyd Michael Helm, Hightower Dental Concepts with Dr. Leah Larson, City Group Hospitality including City Pork Brasserie and Bar, City Pork Catering, City Slice, City Taco, Rouge Creole, and Beau Soleil.
Talent 360 Consulting with Vicki Little. Jeff Taylor, Realtor and Forester with Whitetail Properties. The 3rd Street Songwriters Festival. Elite Chiropractic with Dr. Ron Mcmorris. Causey Medesthetic and Dr. Danielle Causey. LouisianaIsATrip.com, Take One. Beauvoir Park, and the Flower Fest Louisiana at Point Marie. Thank you for making our show possible.